First Take is in the house for the NBA Finals. Right behind us, you know what time it is. Game 1 tonight. Curry, Kawhi, Clay, and Dre. You know we've got it covered.
Oh, we got a ton of guests stopping by as well. Stephen A. Ghost from Power. Amari Hardwick will be in the building. But Stephen A., I got some news for you. I don't think Max made it through customs.
Oh, he didn't have the juice. He didn't
We'll
have the juice.
Find him.
I got through customs.
We certainly will. Toronto, the 6, we the North. First Take is in the building. Canada, we have arrived. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us inside Scotiabank Arena. This crowd is ready to go. The first time that the Raptors are in the finals in franchise history. And we are fired up to be here. But here's the deal, Stephen A. Smith.
Yes.
I got to tell you the story. So we were all geeked up. We were going to be at Jurassic Park outside Maple Leaf Square. But because of you, you got to be this big star. The crowd was going to be too big that they had to move us inside for security reasons. I blame you.
You know what?
You're on TV too much.
Well, I'm going to blame the show because what the show should have done was get me in touch with the local PD and government officials here in the city of Toronto, and I would have had a conversation, and we would have been outside in Jurassic Park. That's where I wanted to be, because it was going to be hype. But it's all right, because they're going to hold it down in here. They're going to hold it down in here.
For sure.
They're going to hold it down. They're going to hold it down.
We're so happy to be here. And I got another issue, which you heard in the open. Max couldn't get through.
Oh.
Can you make another call?
You know what? I will get Max Kellerman here.
Okay.
Come hella high
Max,
water.
we miss you.
Yes,
And he's out there in New York City. How we doing, Max?
I had a little problem getting into the country. They said it's a crime what I do to Stephen A. Smith on the air every day. It became an international incident. I have a little juice. I'm hoping I have a little juice with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Chrystia Freeland, used to be a colleague at CNN, so maybe I can make a phone call.
Yeah, how about that? How about that? Max does have that kind of juice.
He certainly does. All right, guys, let's get it. Game 1 tonight, right here in Toronto, Scotiabank Arena. We know the Warriors are trying to win 4 in the last 5 years, and as I mentioned, the Raptors trying to win their first ever. Max Kellerman, you are up first. I've been waiting for this, my friend. Who's winning this series?
As Stephen A. would say. What is it you do, Stephen A.? Austin Powers? Look, I'm assuming Kevin Durant's not playing. The fact is, when they signed Kevin Durant, it's an unfair advantage for the Warriors. With KD, you always pick him, right? I'm assuming KD's not playing. He ain't playing game 1, that's for sure. Toronto has home court. Toronto has guys that, like, they ain't gonna. There was 3 of the 4 games against Portland was close for Golden State, Stephen A., because they were dominating the offensive boards. They were able to win. Draymond Green, to me, was actually the MVP of that series. But as Jalen Rose, are you aware of Jalen Rose, Molly? You two should meet. I think you'd like him.
I heard he outkicked his coverage, but
pointed
that's
out
what people
on
say.
First Take yesterday. This is not the previous series. There's Siakam and Ibaka and Gasol and big guys who can crash the glass. The Warriors will not be dominating the offensive boards. Stephen A. Smith, I am here to tell you that the best player in this series is Kawhi Leonard, with or without KD. But without KD, it's going to be too much, and the Toronto Raptors will be NBA champions.
He's really trying to get in the country. I see what's happening.
He's really trying to get in the country. Listen,
good effort, Max.
I want to commend the Toronto Raptors because they gave me cause to pause. Going back, watching how they came back and won 4 straight against Milwaukee, watching tape, looking at Kawhi Leonard, how efficient of a superstar he is, seeing their length, seeing their depth, seeing their athleticism, their ability to defend. This is going to be a tough series for the Golden State Warriors. Make no mistake about it. I don't blame Max for picking them. I don't blame Jalen Rose for picking them. Jalen Rose has a pretty good record. There's no question about it. But I'm going with the Golden State Warriors. I'm just doing it. You got to show me. You got to show me that somebody is going to stop Steph Curry. You've got to show me that somebody's going to stop Klay Thompson. Draymond Green is playing out of his mind now that he doesn't have Kevin Durant as the third, not the third wheel, but one of the three big wheels, and he doesn't have to take a step back, and he's allowed to be forward and be more aggressive. As a playmaker from the forward spot, I think that's going to be very formidable, and that's something that the Toronto Raptors are going to have to contend with. Number two, I watched Milwaukee in that series, and I think that what we have to pay attention to is that the superstars on the Golden State Warriors are not the kind of superstar that the Greek Freak is. The Greek Freak couldn't hit a perimeter shot. Yeah, he had a couple here or there, but for the most part, he was very tentative because that's not his game. His game is getting into the interior and dunking it on you. That's not going to work against the Toronto Raptors. But if you launch from three-point range, I'm sorry, you can pull that off. There were plenty of open shots that the Milwaukee Bucks had available to them, and they just missed. That's not going to be the Golden State Warriors. Let me get to Jalen Rose. Somebody you know, somebody Max knows. Jalen Rose deserves all the credit in the world because he talked to us about the Denver Nuggets and what the Denver Nuggets was going to do. He also said they were going to go to the conference finals. That didn't happen. He said the Philadelphia 76ers was going to the conference finals. That didn't happen. I was mad I was off yesterday when he said that on my show because I was like, damn it. I wish I hadn't taken the day off and Jalen Rose had said that in my presence. Yeah. Otherwise, I would have addressed it then. But in reality,
he's here. You could have invited him.
You know what? I didn't know he was here. I really did not know because we don't have ESPN. I mean, they didn't have it in my hotel room, so I didn't even know. But the point is, I'm trying to make.
Issue.
That's right. But the point that I'm trying to make to you is this: at the end of the day, the Golden State Warriors' ability to hit perimeter shots, I think, will be the key. Toronto is an elite defensive team, but that's particularly with 2-point scorers and on the interior. If Golden State was that kind of scoring team, that would be different. The fact that they beat you from long range, that's going to be a different story. I know Toronto could beat them, but I got to see it to believe it. I'm going with the reigning two-time defending NBA champions to win this series in 6 games.
6? Max, how many games did you say for the Raptors?
6. I don't think it's going the distance either. I think the Raptors with home court. Look, like Stephen A. said to him, I don't blame Stephen A. for taking the Warriors. They do have the experience. And furthermore, Kawhi is the best player in this series. And I don't care if even Kevin Durant's playing. Kawhi's the best player in the world. But then the second best player in this series without KD is Steph. And the third best player is either Draymond or Clay. And then the other one is the fourth best player. So 2, 3, and 4 are all Warriors. And with the money on the line, you might argue Iguodala is 5th. But here's the thing, Stephen A. As much as we look at the Raptors and go, well, who's going to step up and be Kawhi's real crime partner on offense? Is it going to be Lowry? Consistently? Is it going to be Siakam consistently? Or what about Van Vliet? Or is Danny Green going to wake up? Or can Norman Powell continue the hot shooting? Or what about the bigs, Gasol and Ibaka? But do you see how many names I just mentioned? While Kawhi doesn't have the surefire guy he can lean on as his crime partner, as Robin to his Batman, he has like 7, 8 different guys who might do it. That is a deep team, as you mentioned, an excellent defensive team. That's a team put together by maybe the best GM in basketball or president in basketball operations in the game, Masai Ujiri. And remember what happened the last time Kawhi was on a team that looked overmatched against the KD-led Golden State Warriors team. They were up 23. They were up 23 at the half.
There's one game.
And then he got hurt. We don't know what would have happened after that.
Right, that's right. Exactly. We don't know. So don't talk about it like we do know. We don't know.
But
that was one game. That's number one. That was number one. And number two, excuse me, last time I checked, when you got a big three, particularly with the greatest shooting backcourt we have ever seen in NBA history, all of a sudden, guys like Jordan Bell, Kevon Looney, Quinn Cook, Alfonso McKinney, these guys have been able to come off the bench and make pivotal plays and make a contribution. Why? Because you're feeding off of those guys. I think they got some depth too.
All right, Stephen A's got the Warriors in 6. Max has Toronto in 6. Let me tell you, Game 1 is pivotal. The winner of Game 1 goes on to win the series over 70% of the time. We cannot wait. First Take just getting started, everybody. The NBA Finals tonight at 9 Eastern on ABC and ESPN Deportes, with the Warriors going for the three-peat against Kawhi and the Raptors. Our Game 1 coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 8:30, and both streaming live on the ESPN app from anywhere. Stephen A, what else you got?
A lot more to come on First Take from Toronto. I'll tell you why James Harden can't win a championship playing the way he does. Plus, Brian Windhorst will tell us if Kevin Durant has already played his last game for the Golden State Warriors. And with Anthony Davis's days in New Orleans numbered, where will he be playing next year? More First Take from Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. after the break.